The savings rate is now at the lowest level since mid-2009. It collapsed down to 5.1. What was happening to the economy in mid-2009? We were in the Great Recession. So the last time we had a savings rate this low, we were in a huge recession. Why is the savings rate so low? Because the recession is forcing workers to dip into their savings to pay their bills because their pay increases aren't enough.
Now, in the Biden administration's defense, the stock market is doing very well. Stocks rallied in the past week, and major stock market indexes ended July with their best monthly performance of the year. The S&P 500, the Dow scored their best month since November 2020. Nazdaqs, best monthly performance since April of 2020. So those are good things. And Joe Biden, well, you know, that's what Joe Biden would like you to look at the stock market now as one sign that he's doing better than we're being told.
Well,
and he basically
Megan,
came out.
We're in a bear market. The bear market rally notwithstanding, we're still in a bear market. But the only reason the stock market has rallied is because the economy is so weak. See, what's driving the stock market rally is the idea that because the economy is so weak, the Fed is going to pivot, that the Fed is not going to keep raising interest rates. It's going to be forced to stop hiking rates and maybe cut rates to stimulate the economy. So the reason the stock market has rallied is because we're in a recession. So it's hard for Biden to kind of point to the stock market as indicative of his success when it actually is indicative of his failure.
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay, here's what he says. He says, number one, we have a record job market at 3.6% unemployment. That's like their biggest argument, is that very few people who want jobs don't have one. We've created, he keeps saying this, 9 million new jobs so far just since I've become president. He credits himself for every job people left and then refilled after the COVID lockdown opened up. Businesses are investing in America at record rates, foreign businesses and so on. He points to this CHIPS Act he's doing where we're investing in semiconductor investments, trying to make more of those here domestically, which was a bipartisan push. And we'll get to the so-called Inflation Reduction Act that Manchin just agreed to in our second block. So let's table that one for the moment. But what do you make of 3.6% unemployment? We've created 9 million jobs and businesses are investing in America, and all of that puts the lie to the word recession.
Yeah, look, Biden just lies. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, that should be no surprise. They lie about everything. At least he's consistent in that. But sure, the official unemployment rate is 3.6%. But the unofficial rate is much higher than that because there are a lot of people that are not employed, but are not counted as being unemployed. And we still have a very low labor force participation rate. And so I look at that number as kind of being a meaningless lagging indicator. It is about to rise because, you know, Megan, a lot of companies were reluctant to lay people off over the past 6 months. They were hopeful that what they were looking at was a temporary downturn. They were hoping that inflation was transitory, that we would avoid recession, because employers don't want to lay people off. It's expensive. You know, you train people, you invest money in your workers. You don't want to just get rid of them unless you really know you need to. But I think now that the economy is so bad and it's obviously getting worse, I think a lot of these companies that were holding on to their workers, I think they're going to start letting them go. And so you're going to see a big increase in layoffs. We're already seeing that in first-time jobless claims, which are now above 250,000. They actually peaked above 260,000 the prior week. This is the highest since the fall of last year. That's a leading indicator, unlike the unemployment rate, which is a lagging indicator. And the idea that Biden created any jobs, I mean, that's ridiculous. He didn't create anything. You basically had a bunch of jobs before he became president where we told all the workers, temporarily leave your job. Go home, don't work. We're going to pay you a bunch of money not to work, so sit at home and stay at home. Now Biden walks into office and now we tell all those workers, hey, you know the jobs that we told you to leave? You got to go back to them. So people are going back to the jobs they temporarily left. And now Biden is saying, oh, look at me. I created all these jobs. Right. He hasn't created anything.
Right.
I'm sure if Biden wasn't president, we might have actually created jobs. Instead, because of his policies, we probably have fewer jobs, and the jobs that we have pay less.